Have you bought a new AAA game recently? Have your computer not performed the way it once was? Did things just seem to melt down and your computer start puffing smoke out the side? Well, maybe, just maybe, you bought Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So, from Electronic Arts, they actually put out this post about Jedi Survivor being absolutely underperforming. What is with AAA games and not performing when they come out? Like, are you not testing these games out on PC? Do you not boot it up once in the testing facility when you're making this port? When you put it on a PC, do you not go, okay, I got the configuration here, okay, this works really well, they have recommended settings? Are you not doing this? Do you not see the frame rate drops? What is going on with AAA games? This is absolutely becoming inexcusable, and I gotta say, people need to start taking class action lawsuits and start suing these mother effers for this crap they keep pushing down our throats. $70 for a game, $80 for a game, $110 for a game. This is it, the prices go up, and the quality goes in the toilet the second you unbox it. It's absolutely getting ridiculous. People should be refunding this game from day one, and they should just be like, no, until you produce something for PC players to play these games, they should just stop buying them, stop pre-ordering these things, and absolutely stop giving your money over to these companies that sit there and make you take it, make you literally bend over and say, you know what, you bought it, now you own it. We are aware Star Wars Jedi Survivor isn't performing to our standards for a certain percentage of PC players, in particular those with high-end machines or certain specific configurations. For example, players using cutting-edge, multi-threaded chipsets designed for Windows 11 were encountering problems on Windows 10, or high-end GPUs coupled with lower performing CPUs also saw unexpected frame loss. Reports were we were watching a slideshow and not actually watching a gameplay. This game is absolutely trash if that's the case. But rest assured, we're working on to address these cases quickly. Then why did you port the thing to PC in the first place? If you knew there were going to be issues, if you don't understand these things, then what's going on? Cutting edge. Are you not making these games with the top end technology? You're EA, you're Electronic Arts. If you don't have the top end PC for the games you were making to tell people, this is what we tested it at, this is how low we've tested it at, this is how high we tested it at, how do you not do this? I understand there's a million different configurations when it comes to PCs and cooling and everything else out there for your graphics cards, for your CPUs. There's so many different things out there, but it's getting really ridiculous when I sit here. I have a 3070 Ti, but I sit here within the first week of a new game launching, there is a game-ready driver that drops from NVIDIA saying, oh, we have a new driver. Please update your driver. Because this new game came out. I'm not even playing the new game, but they're telling me I have to update my driver for the game that came out because the devs can't work within the models that were given to them in the first place. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. You spend $2,000 on a PC, on a top-end PC, and now these top-end players are getting completely screwed in the end. This type of thing needs to end. These companies need to be held to task, and they need to push it out there and say, listen, it's working as intended. This is the way things are. Yes, okay, there's a handful of people. No, this is a giant load of people that are having issues with this. It's absolutely frustrating to hear this, and time again, I hear about it. I see it. I just don't like buying new games nowadays until like 3 months down the line when they fixed all these bugs. You know, Security Breach, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, an absolute garbage trash fire that first came out, but I still love the game because the glitches actually made it hilarious. The game had so many glitches and so many problems with it. They weren't a AAA company. They're no Electronics Arts. They're not Activision Blizzard. They're not Microsoft. They're not the top of the line. They were an indie developer making a game. So you can sit there and go, okay, yeah, I get it. You don't pay the high price point. You're not paying $70 for these games, and it's absolutely ridiculous that it gets to this point. So let's take a quick look here. This is the system requirements for Jedi Survivor. Minimum. This means that you should be able to play, if you're playing at minimum, 30 frames per second. This is Windows 10, processor 4-core 8 threads, i7 770 or Ryzen 5 1400, 8 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs of RAM is huge for a game. Graphics being an 8 gig video RAM, so a GTX 1070. A 1070. That's like 5 generations ago now. Well, 4, really. Version 12 for DirectX, yeah, broadband internet, 155 gigs. How is a game that's 155 gigs running this poorly? Recommended. This is the recommended that you should run this game at. 4-core, 8 threads, iCore 5 1160K or Ryzen 5 5600X. 5600X is probably one of the best price points for a Ryzen AMD chipset. 16 gigs of RAM. 16 gigs of RAM is absolutely insane. To think of games being at 16 gigs of RAM now is absolutely crazy. 8 gig RAM, VRAM on a RTX 2070. A 2070, it's not even, like, it's old enough, but it's not. And the people are blowing these out of the water and they can't stream the game. They can't play the game they want to play with like a 4090. It's absolutely ridiculous that the top-end graphic cards can't run these games. Who is at fault here? Is it EA or is it Nvidia or is it AMD? Where is the drawback? Where is the problem with these graphic cards or these AAA games? Which one is the actual problem? Well, what I know is Jedi Survivor seems to be running absolutely like trash for a lot of people. There's people that are out there playing it and not having problems. So if you want to fix your frame rate, make sure your drivers are up to date, make sure everything is up to date on your PC. But when AAA games are charging $70, $80 and they drop and there is nothing but a day one bug with these things, it becomes an absolute trash fire and a travesty, especially when EA has to put out a statement and say, oh, I'm sorry that you guys are underperforming. I'm sorry your PCs are blowing our equipment out of the water. I'm sorry our game doesn't run properly on the PC that you spent your hard-earned money to build. Anyway, I'm your proud Canadian Phoenix, Shadow. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day.